Hey everybody, I just wanted to talk to you today about joints real quick and be able to show you on the skeleton what they are. So I've got a list behind us here, behind me and Mr. Bowen's. We've got immovable joints. Let me move them out of the way for a minute. We'll go through real quick. Movable joints, and there's 4 types of movable joints. So let's talk about immovable joints. The word immovable literally means that they don't move. And so joints are where 2 bones come together in the body. And you have immovable joints in your skull. And it's going to be hard to see on him. But when you were a baby, your whole head wasn't fused, hence the term you had a soft spot on your head. You have other places your bones fuse too, but the best place to see it is on your skull. And we would call these, because 2 bones came together, but they fused to the point where they no longer can move around one another. We call these immovable joints. So the bones of your skull cap and the back of your skull and your cranium would be immovable joints, joints that cannot move, but 2 bones did come together. Now you have 4 types of movable bone joints in your body that you can control: hinge, ball and socket, pivot, and gliding. So let's go through those. Think of hinge as like a door opening and closing. So you've got hinge joints at your elbows and knees. So let me manipulate these for you. So think of a door opening and closing. Now you are not as flexible as this guy because he does not have skin or organs or tendons or ligaments, so we're not this flexible, but this is a hinge joint. So would be your knee. So let's bring up his knee here, and you can see that it opens and closes like a door. So your elbows and your knees open and close like a door. So that's hinge. Ball and socket joints are where there's a bone that has a ball on the end of it, a round end, and the socket or the top that fits over it. These would be your shoulders and your hip joints. So if you look at his shoulder here at the end of his humerus, it's a rounded bone and it fits right into his shoulder joint. They have a big range of motion, and this is why, like, when you see a pitcher pitch a ball, they don't go quite that crazy, but they can throw it over the top. Your hip joint is the same. You've got a huge ball at the end of your hip joint and it fits into your pelvis, and it gives you a wide range of motion. In fact, probably the biggest range of motion of any of your joints. All right, after that is a pivot joint. And a pivot joint is like in basketball where you plant one foot and you can pivot around. This would be like your neck joint. That's probably the best way to see it, is because your cranium, your neck, and all your vertebrae, your head can pivot on that joint. Hence, it is a pivot joint. And lastly are your gliding joints. So down here, see gliding. And gliding is like moving past one another. So if we look at all your wrist bones, which are called carpals, as you move your hand, they slide past one another. The same is true of your metatarsals, your ankle bones, and your foot. Let's see if I can get them to bend. So all these ankle bones here, and as you move your ankle back and forth, these bones glide past one another. So we call those 4 movable joints because you can manipulate and move them on your skeleton. And then the other joints of the cranium were your immovable joints. So hopefully you kind of understand what movable and immovable joints are. See you later.